Hello. Today I'm going to be introducing you to a little lens by Sigma. In fact, the exact model number is the Sigma DG 150 to 500 millimeter f5 to 6.3 APO HSM. Now this lens has image stabilization and autofocus, and the image stabilization is really good. Now, I said this is a little lens, but as you can see, it's not all that little. It has a locking mechanism, so that when you hold it upside down, it doesn't creep. When you unlock it, as you can see, the lens extends as you zoom. So that's a pretty significant lens. But in comparison to other lenses in this category, it's pretty light and it's pretty compact for such a long focal length. Now first I want to say that the optics of this lens are excellent. Now it is a used lens, so I'm going to be talking about the overall quality of the optics, the mechanics, the electronics, and the wear and tear that you might find on a used lens. Now looking at this lens cosmetically, you'll notice that it's in really good shape. I bought this lens secondhand, but when I got it, I did complete and thorough testing, and I thought possibly I would use it for a while, refurbish it, and sell it. Well, when I got the lens, I was very surprised of the condition that it was in. It was really in good condition. Now, one thing about this lens is that it's a matte finish. Now, matte finishes are tough. It's also a speckle finish. So you'll see a lot of shiny speckles, and you're going to see photos of this in complete detail. Any little flaw that there might be, you're going to see. There's a couple of little things, but as far as the overall condition, it's not exactly mint, but it's pretty close. So let's just call it excellent condition. But you judge for yourself. Look at the photos, because everything is in the photos. Now, I mentioned that optically, mechanically, and electronically it's perfect. Alright, I was very surprised at 500 millimeters. It's quite a bit of lens to work with, and people who are not experienced with it, it does take some practice. No matter who makes it, no matter what brand, if it was a Canon lens, Sigma lens, Tamron lens, whatever. 500 millimeters is a handful. But once you learn to master it and you learn some tricks of the trade, you can get some really superior results. The cool thing about this lens is it has two different settings for image stabilization. Setting 1 is when you're hand holding it. It stabilizes vertical and horizontal movement. Setting number 2 is if you have it on a tripod, and let's say you're following an airplane or a bird, and you're mostly moving horizontally, and so that setting is optimized for that. I generally hand hold, so I always keep it in setting number 1. I was very surprised about how good this image stabilization worked. For a long lens like this, I can get some really steady shots, handheld, at some pretty low shutter speeds. Now, one of the things I'm going to be including with this, on this thumb drive, I'm going to be including the manual. I'm going to be including some of the test photos that I took that you'll see on this video and in my eBay posting. It shows some really fine pictures and some really fine detail. You'll be surprised, especially when you read about this lens. Some of the reviews are mixed because it's not the top of the line. It's not the sport lens. It's not an art lens, but it's a really good lens if you know how to use it. And I will describe in my programs the way to get the best out of this lens. The techniques, what you have to know, a complete primer on how to use a telephoto lens. And of course, a zoom lens is a telephoto lens. So what we have here is the versatility of going from 150 millimeters, and you can literally use that for portraits. Long distance, but portraits. And you'll see some of the photos I have of a, I call her my model, but it's actually a mannequin head. Really sharp. And so if you have a big studio, you could get away with using this for portraits, even though it's not technically a portrait lens. But then at its telephoto, you can bring some really far subject matter in really close. And again, there's a couple of things to know about using a lens like this. If you haven't used it before, in the beginning, you won't get the best results, probably. Maybe you will if you're really good. But using the image stabilization really helps out, and it saved my butt on a couple of occasions. So you're going to see photos of that, and again, you're going to get my how-to use not just this lens, any telephoto lens, but I'm also going to have on that thumb drive some specifics to this lens. For instance, how to clean the finish when you do get it marred up a little bit. There's techniques that I've used. I buy and sell lenses. I refurbish them. It's one of the things I do, mostly for film cameras, but I have a lot of experience in that area. And I've been in the business over 35 years, so I've got a little bit of knowledge that I'm more than happy to share with you. All right, optically, very good optics in this lens. Electronically, I talked about the image stabilization. The autofocus is also excellent. Now, a note on the photos I'm going to show you that were examples taken from this particular lens. This lens is for a Canon, and it works very well on a Canon camera. I took all of the test photos that you're going to see on a GH4, and of course, when you're using a Canon lens on a Canon body, you're going to get the best results. So keep that in mind. The results you're going to see, I believe, are pretty impressive, but they'll be even more impressive using a Canon body. So optically, mechanically, and electronically, this lens is in perfect condition. So I was happy that I didn't have to do any work in those areas. And when I first got the lens, I thought there would be a lot of marks from wear and tear. You know, it's a secondhand lens. But after I cleaned it up, most of those marks went away. Now, anything that's left as far as wear and tear, I'm going to describe completely, and I'm going to show you photos. In fact, I'll put this down for a second. The only mark on here that is actually from wear and tear that I couldn't get off is this little line. Now, you're not going to be able to see this on the video, so I've taken photographs of it. But that's from going in and out of the case. So this little mark isn't very noticeable. I mean, right now, if I hold it at the right light, I can see it, but someone from 2 feet away wouldn't even notice it. Now, I mentioned microdust. Now, every zoom lens will end up with dust inside of it. It's unavoidable, because what happens is when you zoom in and out, as you zoom out, it sucks air in from the outside. Every lens does it. It wouldn't be able to operate if it did not have this exchange of air. And wherever you are, whether you're inside or outside, there's particles, small particles in the air. It ends up getting inside all lenses. So whether you bought that $2,000 Sigma Sport lens or $3,500 or $6,000 Canon lens, after you use it for a short time, it's going to have dust in it, just like this. The thing about this lens is you're not spending $2,000, you're not spending $4,000, you're not spending $8,000. Now, I've talked to technicians from Nikon, Sigma, Canon, Panasonic, and you can ask any lens technician yourself. They'll tell you the same thing. All lenses end up with dust, and the dust doesn't affect the image quality. And the proof of that is in my sample photos that I provided. The overall condition of this lens is excellent. I would say a 9 out of 10, if not better. Again, you'll judge for yourself. It comes with both rear lens cap, front lens cap. Now, this lens cap has some scuff marks on it. And again, normal use. It is a used lens, so it's not going to be absolutely pristine. There's going to be a little bit of wear, but you'll see that in the photos. So it comes with the front and rear lens caps. It comes with a Sigma UV filter. Now, from what I understand, this UV filter, because I did not purchase it myself, goes for about $100, so that's included. It comes with the lens hood, and of course I can put that on here. That's how it attaches. Now, look at this bad boy with the lens hood on. Yeah, looks impressive. But on and off pretty easily, and of course I'm including a case. I think you'll find my pricing very reasonable. All of the people that have purchased from me have been glad that they did, because my descriptions are very precise and my communication is excellent. If you have any questions at all, I'm there for you. I'll answer them. If you need any help using the lens after the sale, I'm there for you. We'll email each other and I'll respond to you very quickly. So, hop on down to my eBay auction. URL is right underneath this video, and check it out. Look at the photos, see for yourself, do your research, but I'll tell you one thing, if you buy this lens from me, you'll know what you're getting. Thanks for watching, and happy bidding.